Hello everyone. We will start in another minute. Sorry for the delay. Just wait for a minute. Okay. So hello everyone. Good evening. My name is Omkar Joshi, and I'm course instructor for computational thinking, and I will be conducting today's open session, which is for week 11. Sorry for the delay. There was some technical issue on the video team side, so that's why there was some small delay. But now we can start. So whoever has doubt, same thing. Please raise your hand, and we can go in that particular order. As it's open session for week 11, I will prefer week 11 questions first, and if not, then we can go in a reverse ordered week by week. So first week 11, then week 10, and so on. So yes, Aryan, go on.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Sir, can you show the explanation for 11.5 activity question last question?
Okay. Okay. Activity 11.5. Okay. Okay, so these two are the correct answers as per portal. Now you tell me what's the answer which you got, or where you got confused. Anything more? Anything else you can tell me?
Yes, sir. At the else part, that return last L plus list sum init, and L. So I'm not able to get what exact number or what exact thing it might show.
Okay. Okay. So what is this? This part, right? This line you're talking about. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Aryan, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is happening in first iteration? We extracted last of L, right?
Yeah.
Then plus. This is plus symbol, right? Mathematical plus. This is not plus of list. This is simple mathematical plus, right? We are adding some numbers. Yeah. Then we are doing list sum. List sum is what? That list, original list what we had, right? And we are calling that particular procedure again, that list sum procedure again. But this time we are passing some different parameter, and what that parameter is, init of L. What is current L? Current L is from 1 to n. What is init of L? Last of L is, let's say, n. Then what will be the init of L?
N minus 2.
No, why n minus 2? What is init?
The first initials.
What
excluding the last term, sir.
Excluding the last term, right?
Yeah.
So what we did, we excluded the last two terms.
Right.
So whenever we are passing, let's consider that our L is just, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forget about N. Okay, let's make it easy. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So last of L is 5. And then we are calling list of sum is init of L. Now, this second procedure call, whatever is happening over here, for that particular procedure call, what will be the input? What will the value of L?
1, 2, 3, right?
1, 2, 3, correct. So what happens? You are supposed to preserve this 5 over here plus make this call again. Now you will again change. What is the length of L? Length of L is, as you said, the list is 1 to 3. So length of L is 3, right? So it's not equal to 0. So you came down to L's part. Again, last of L. What is last of L? It is now 3. Correct?
Yes.
Then it was originally it was 5. Now 5 plus 3 plus again this procedure called init of L. Now whatever the current list is 1 to 3, you again did init of L on that list. So now what is the updated L?
Yes.
I mean
So it will
updated.
be a 0, right?
No, why it will be 0?
Empty
Because the
list.
last term was 3, then
Oh,
the
last
list
was a
will be
list,
empty.
right? It was a list of 3 elements. You removed only 2, right?
Yeah. Oh, the 1 will be remaining.
One will be there, right?
Yeah.
So again, you made that procedure call. Length of L is not equal to 0. So what is last of L? Now 1, right?
Right.
So it is 5 plus 3 plus 1. And now you're calling list sum again with init of L. This time it will be empty list.
Okay.
So you went back, again you called it. Now this time it will return 0. As it returns 0, you completed the procedure. So what was it? 5 plus 3 plus 1 plus 0.
Okay. So then
So
how the answer is like all even numbers and all odd numbers? I mean, I didn't get that.
correct. So right now we assume that we assume that the list has 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we added 5, 3, and 1, right?
Right.
What if there is 6 also? Then you will add 6, 4, and 2, right?
Yes.
That's why it depends on what is the value of n. If n is an even number, then it will be addition of even numbers. If n is odd, then it will be addition of odd numbers.
Got
Are
it.
you
Sir.
getting this point?
Yeah, I mean 50% I'll say.
Okay, why? I mean, is there any?
Sir, that particular thing about the last L plus list sum, I mean, I'm not getting what is it like an addition thing of the list and the last number?
Yeah, that's what I said, right? That plus operator is it's a mathematical summation operator. It's not the list operator which we use.
Okay. So then, sir, if we consider 5 as the last element, so what will we get? What will be getting as a end result? I mean, there will be an addition of 5, 3, and 1, right?
Correct.
Okay, I got it there.
See, right now, just, I mean, the confusion might be there because of that plus operator, right?
Yeah.
It is just one plus symbol. Usually we have plus plus, right? Plus plus is that list append and list extend and all that, right? This is not
Yeah.
that. This is just simple summation. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. That's all.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, is it clear?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah,
better?
sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sure. Thanks. Okay. Next is Karthik.
Yes, sir. Do we have any scope to discuss about the graded assignment 10? I have one doubt in one question.
It's the deadline is gone, right? It's closed.
Yeah,
It's closed. Yeah, we can discuss, but let me just go through the people who have raised their hands. Let me clear week 11 doubts first.
Okay, sir.
So that's in line with the agenda of the session, and then maybe I'll come back to you.
Okay,
I don't
sir,
think
sure.
then just another three guys are there, so you
No
will
problem.
get chance for sure. But maybe
Okay,
just
sir. Okay.
for
Thank
few
you.
more minutes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll go to next person, Yogendra.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi. Tell me.
Yes, sir. I have a doubt in a practice assignment. So question number 3, pseudocode.
Okay. What is that? Okay, hold on. Okay, practice assignment of week 11, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Question number?
3 means pseudocode, sir. So I don't understand.
Okay. In the pseudocode itself, you did not understood this pseudocode?
Yes, sir. Swapping of variables in line 4.
Huh?
Sir, from here I don't understand.
I mean, this line you did not understand or what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This line.
Okay.
How
So
how
see,
can variables swap?
how can variables?
Swap means it started from a procedure calculate a comma b parameter
Correct.
and return calculate b comma a. How can? What?
Correct. So what is happening is we are trying to find difference, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you look at it, we're just going ahead, but just to explain you, I'm jumping to line number 9. Okay.
Okay.
At line number 9, how we are calculating difference? Difference we are calculating a minus b.
Yes, sir.
And somehow we want that difference to be a positive number, let's say.
Yes, sir.
Then this difference will be positive only if a is greater than or equal to b.
Yes, sir.
Okay, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what if your a is, let's say, 5 and b is 10?
Yes, sir.
So forget about these lines. You came directly over here. So your difference will be minus 5, right?
Yes, sir. Minus 5.
But we don't want that. We want difference to be positive number.
Sir, then take a modulus of.
Yeah, that is there. But simplified, in a simplified version, what we are checking whether b is greater than a or not.
Yes, sir.
If that is the case, we are calling the procedure again, but now we are changing the values. Instead of 5 comma 10, now we are calling it as 10 comma 5. So that next time difference will be correct. I mean, I'm not saying that's the whole idea behind the entire procedure, but just telling you that's the idea behind this swapping in between places.
So in this question,
Sure.
in that.
So Yogendra,
Yes, sir.
just hang on. So do simply what I'll tell you what to do. Just take this example for this, right? Okay, 12 comma 3, right?
Yes, sir.
So your a is 12 and b is 3.
Yes, sir.
So now b is not greater.
Yes, sir.
So you don't have to execute this line. Now a and b, they are not equal, so return will not execute. But this
Yes,
will
sir.
execute. 12 minus 3, your difference is 9.
Yes, sir.
Right? And now 9 is greater than b.
Good. 3.
So you're calling this again now with difference over here and b as it is.
9 comma 3.
Now this is 9 and this is again 3, right? 9
3.
comma 3.
Yes, sir.
Same thing, you start the procedure again from here. Again, 9 is not less than 3. They are not equal. You calculated the difference, 9 minus 3.
Means, sir, when started again, the value of a is 9.
Yes. When you start again, see, that's what you did, right? You call that procedure again, but with new parameters. Diff
Yes.
and b. What is diff? Diff was 9, right? That's what we calculated.
Yes, sir.
So at this very point, you should start the procedure again from line 1 with these two new values.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing that until you get this return. Because see, there are 4 return statements. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? But
Yes.
except this one, in all remaining 3 you are calculating procedure again.
Yes, sir.
That means some more calculation you're supposed to do, right? That's the point when you call a procedure, that means some more computation is remaining, right? But this is the only return statement we are actually returning just a value. Correct?
Yes, sir.
That means these 3 return statements will get called one after the other in some order. In some case, one of them may not even get called. But some procedure will happen, and at the end, you will get something like this: A is equal to B. You will end up over here, and that's the point when you will return B. That should always be there. Otherwise, this code will never stop, right? You will keep calling calculate. Again and again and again, it will be a never-ending thing. So somewhere, as per your whatever calculation we're doing, according to that, this condition should satisfy at some point, and that's the place where you will return B. And that's your answer.
Sir, I have understood all things, but sir, still I am confusion of swapping of variables. Sir, can you take values and find answers?
Yeah, sure. Let's continue with whatever we are doing, right? So
Yes.
as we said, we call this procedure again with 9 and 3.
Yes, sir. 9,3.
9,3. Again, same thing. You did difference 9 minus 3. Your diff is now 6.
Yes, sir.
So you came here. Now what is your diff?
6.
It's 6 and 3,
Three.
right?
Yes, sir.
So you called it this again.
Yes, sir. 6,3.
So now this is 6,3. This became 3.
Yes, sir.
So you called it by 3,3.
Yes, sir.
So, and in that case, again, this doesn't satisfy. You both are equal. You return B. So your answer is 3.
So, sir, if both are 3, then it will go to else, sir.
No, both are 3. Then A is equal to B, and you return
No,
B.
sir. 6 minus 3. In case of 6 minus 3, difference
Yes,
is
sir.
3 is greater than 3. It will go to else, right?
Yes, sir. It will go to else part.
Else what?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. The previous iteration you are saying. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, ultimately it will come here, but yeah, previous iteration, it will go to else part. But B
Yes,
comma diff is again 3,3, right?
Yes, the same thing.
So it will come here and you will get this result. Right? So 12,3 is that part clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3.
Now consider a situation where you are calling calculate with 3,12. Is there a case? Okay, or maybe even this one where this second part is greater. 14,17. Let's take this example. 14,17.
Yes, sir.
Now what happens? Your A is 14, B is 17. Right?
Yes, sir.
Now your A is less than B.
Yes, sir.
So you are supposed to call this procedure again with
17,
14.
14.
Right?
Yes, sir.
That means simply you call this procedure again with 17, 14 and continue what we did earlier. So this particular condition is just there to make sure your first argument is greater than second.
Then second. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then
Got it.
only you can do this part.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Right? Otherwise, your 14 minus 17 will be a negative number. So just to avoid those negative numbers, and it will be a never-ending series then, right? If we go into negative numbers. That's why just to make sure your first argument is greater than second argument, we have added this additional thing.
Sir, 14,17 will become 17,14.
Correct. And then it will continue whatever happens with 12.3. Same
But
thing
in
will
this
happen
case
for
also
that.
answer is 3, no, sir?
Yeah, I guess so.
17 minus
No, it's
14
1,
is
right?
3.
Yeah, that is
equal-
3, but it will
but
get
it should
called
be
again, right?
B. Yeah, got it.
I mean,
Okay,
in the
okay.
first iteration, difference will be 1, but that's not the final answer. You will call the calculate procedure over and over, and you finally get the answer.
Sir, for this
Sir.
kind of what we call this kind of procedure, like is
Yeah,
there any
this
norm?
kind of these kind of procedures are referred as recursive procedures. A procedure, I will just quickly brief about this. See, a procedure calls itself in its definition. So before that, let me tell you what the definition, that maybe some example. Call a recursive. Okay, maybe. Nowhere procedure is being called. Huh? Only procedure definitions. Okay, this might be a good example. Okay, so this is our procedure DFS, right? I will not explain this question, so don't worry. It's a graded assignment, so I will not talk about question itself. Just focus on this general terminologies. See, this is the place where we are calling P comma S is equal to DFS of something. So this particular line is called procedure call. What it's called? Procedure call. That means because of this highlighted line, the procedure will be executed. So this is the place where we are calling that procedure. We are executing that procedure. So this part is referred as in a programming or computer science terms, it is referred as procedure call. Okay. And this is procedure definition. I mean, this is where we have defined what this call is supposed to do. See, whenever we call it, computer is supposed to execute something, right? And what computer is supposed to execute? Computer is supposed to execute this. So this is a definition of procedure DFS.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these two terminologies are clear. This is call and this is definition.
Yes,
So
sir.
with that, now I will tell you what is recursion or what this procedure is. Whenever a procedure, any procedure calls itself in its own definition, it is referred as recursive procedure. So DFS procedure starts here and ends here. But within this particular, within this definition or within this body of this procedure, it calls itself, right? This was the call, but it's calling within itself. It's called recursive procedure.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, sir.
That's the name given to such procedures. Usually you will not see something like this till week 10. You may not have seen such procedures. In week 11 only, we have introduced something called as this recursive procedures. All right.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yogendra, it's that the earlier explanation was clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, would you take question number 6 and 7 also? From practice.
From practice, right? Maybe I mean just two more guys. I mean, we spent some 15-20 minutes. I'll come back to you. Okay.
Sir, from that pseudocode only.
Oh, the same pseudocode, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Then maybe it's better to continue. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. So this 3 and 4 is clear now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what about 5? What's the confusion in 5?
No, sir. 6 and 7. It would be 5 only is counting of iteration.
Okay. For any two positive integers a and b, what does calculate a comma b return? So it returns the HCF of two numbers. Do you know what is HCF?
Yes. Highest common.
What is HCF?
Sir,
Highest common factor, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you observe that procedure closely over here, what is happening? In this procedure, what is happening? You take, I mean, if you want to do it with some examples, you can do it. See, for 12 and 13, what was 12 and 3? What was the answer? 3. For 14 and 17, answer was 1. Okay, these are just two examples, but ultimately just observe this. What is happening? We are subtracting the value, right? And that subtracted value, we are comparing with second element. The smaller element, second element as in the smaller element, and depending on whether it's greater or smaller, means greater will do this, or if it's smaller or equal, we are doing this. So what is that? What is that? That's the idea behind HCF, which you have studied in mathematics, right?
Yes, sir.
So I understand this is not a mathematical course, so but you should be in a position to notice these patterns, right? Computational thinking has these key aspect, that pattern recognition, right? Which
Yes,
you will use even in the upcoming courses in machine learning and deep learning and so on. So this pattern recognition is important. So if you observe this pattern, this is the core idea behind computing HCF, right? I mean, if you go back to your school days, you must have learned this is how you calculate HCF, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have got HCF, but I have marked
Okay.
option D.
Okay. It returns the HCF of two numbers provided A is greater than B. Why? If B is greater than A, we have that provision over here, right? To swap them and calculate the HCF.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Even though it's other way around, we have written that code to handle that case, right? This is the code which we discussed earlier.
Yes, sir.
Ultimately, it will give you HCF only. Only thing is, we just have to swap the arguments and we'll get the HCF. That's why for 14 and 17, we got 1, right?
Yes, sir.
So, do you think 14 is greater than 17? No, right?
No, sir.
Still, we got HCF. So, this is not the case. HCF part is correct, but this condition is not there.
Sir, will you please go for that 14 and 17?
14 and 17? You want to do the whole iteration?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Sure, will do. Maybe
Thank
let me close this seventh one. Yeah. So what's the issue with seventh? Yogindra,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
what is the confusion in seventh?
Sir, when I solve it, I will not get it, but still, I have just explained you. I got it.
Okay, so now you know, right? This will be true
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
because anyway we are calculating HCF of A and B. Doesn't matter
Yes,
whether it's A comma B or B comma A. You will get the HCF.
Yes, sir. Yes, I have confusion in swapping all, but
Okay. Okay. Now is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, great. So Lakshmi,
Yes,
as
sir,
we
yes,
are on
sir.
the topic, let's finish this. Then I will come to next person. That's
Yes, sir.
Rajiv. Okay. Okay. So Lakshmi, as we have this 14, 17, and as we know,
In the first step,
in the first step, we will swap them and
yes,
call the
it will be
procedure again.
swapped. Yes, sir.
Right. So you
Yes,
just
sir.
assume that now we are executing this with 17, 14.
Yes, sir.
So your 17 minus 14, your diff
3.
is
3.
3.
3.
Now you should compare 3 with B. What was B?
B is 17.
Are you sure? It's 14, right? You just did 17 minus 14.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
After
14.
swapping, B is for this, the current
Yeah.
iteration I'm talking.
Now that
right?
has to be treated as A comma B.
Yes, correct.
That's where I am missing, sir.
Oh,
That's
okay.
where I have the confusion.
Okay.
So it's not fixed.
It's not fixed. It's not.
Yeah,
See,
it's like whenever we
variables.
swap it, the ordered pair is A comma B.
See, variable never goes from variable to variable. The value inside that goes from here to here, right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is 17, 14. So your diff is 3. So you're comparing 3 against 14.
14. Yeah.
That's not the case. I mean, anyway, with 17, that's not the case, but you just should know that B is now 14.
14, yeah.
So you're calculating this now, it will go to else part.
Yes, sir.
So you're calling what? 14, 3.
3.
So 14, 3 came here. Again, 14 minus 3. You got 11.
11.
So now 11 is greater than B. Hello?
Yes, sir.
B is 3, right? If you
B
remember.
is 3. 11 is greater than 3.
So 11 is greater than B. So again, 11, B. So you again came here, 11 minus 3.
9.
9. Again, 9 is greater than 3.
Yes, sir. So the difference is 6.
6.
11 minus 3, 8, sir.
Sorry, 11 minus 3 is 8.
Yeah.
Sorry.
8, sir.
Yeah.
8,
You just said and I assumed. Yeah, 8. So
Yeah.
again, say 8, 8, 3.
Yes, sir.
So again, 8
Difference
minus
is
3.
5.
5. So 5, 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Difference
5, 3. Difference is now 2.
2.
But now 2 is not greater than 3.
Yes, sir.
So you go to else part and you call it with 3, 2.
Now the difference is 1.
1. Now 1 is not greater than 2.
2.
So you do it again, 2, 1.
Now the difference is 1 equals to 1.
1, 1. So you return.
Yeah. Yes,
1.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Sure. Thanks. So next is Rajiv. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I have doubts, sir, in activity question 11 number. Activity question 11.2, question number 4.
Okay. Question for this one, right?
Sir, yes. My doubt is why option B and C is not correct.
Okay. Why B and C are not correct? Okay. This is okay. That's very common doubt. I mean, almost every term we get this. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have had also doubt in this. Sir, can you please discuss on it more explicitly? I mean, I don't know how to draw DFS tree. So. Okay.
Have you watched the depth first search lecture?
Yes, sir. I have watched. I mean, I know, but while solving questions, I didn't get the correct answer. So.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. That's fine. So in all the cases, A is the starting point, right? As per the options, and I think it's given as the that's given as part of the statement also. right?
Yes.
So I will just, so Rajiv, anyway,
Yes, sir.
Vishwajit also wants to do DFS. So in the explanation, I will do both. I mean, in the same explanation, I will try to address both your doubts. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So you
Okay.
start with A. That's the place where we start. So from A, we are supposed to do depth first search. That means keep going until you reach the dead end. Okay, you are not supposed to, now from A, there are two places you can go. From A, either you can go to B or you can go to D, right?
Mhm.
But you're not supposed to finish one, come back and explore second one. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to keep going in one direction, whatever, either from A to B to whatever, or A to D to whatever, whichever you choose. You're supposed to continue on that path until you stuck somewhere. And that's the point where you backtrack. I mean, the terminology or the technical term is backtrack. That means whenever you stuck, then only you come back and explore other options. Until that point, you should keep going ahead and ahead and ahead. Explore new nodes, right? That's the idea behind DFS. Depth first search. Keep going in depth. Okay. I mean, that's, I mean, in a very generic or very naive manner, that's DFS. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So we started from A. Let's first take this example, then we'll dig into B and C or whatever options where the confusion is. So that first, let's understand what is DFS, then we'll see why those specific options are not DFS trees. Okay.
Okay. So what is the meaning of this? Assume that the nodes in the left branch are visited first.
Yes, correct. That's how trees travel. That's what I'm coming next. Okay. So a few things you should understand all the time is DFS is algorithm. It takes graph as an input and it gives tree as an output. I hope you understand the difference between graph and tree. A graph has cycles. Trees, you will not find any cycles or no backward edges. You will not find edge from C to A. Okay, the edges will be in one directional from top to bottom.
But in the original graph, if D is again connected to A, then we don't need to draw that in the DFS tree.
No, exactly. It will not be there.
Okay.
That's the point, right? That's the difference between graph and tree. Tree is a one directional thing. You start from root node, keep going towards bottom.
Okay, sir.
I mean, visually towards bottom. Okay, top to bottom. That's what the tree is.
Okay, sir. But in this respective lecture, there can be an edge. I mean, there can be a return edge. They are forming cycle.
So that's not a tree then. That becomes a graph. That's what I'm telling. Okay. In graph, all sorts of things are possible, but in tree, that's not. That is the main difference between graph and tree. Okay.
Okay.
And DFS takes graph as an input and gives tree as an output. That is the purpose of, that's the computation behind DFS algorithm.
Sorry,
okay?
Here I have a doubt.
I mean, okay.
What is the difference between tree and a spanning tree?
See, spanning tree is a different thing. I don't want to dig into that part at this point of time. You will study that in PDSA course separately. All sorts of different trees and the details and everything you will study that point. Right now, don't go into tree is a tree. Okay. Spanning tree is just a different, a more specialized version of tree. There are many different types of trees: binary tree, spanning tree, OBST, BST, B plus tree. Lots and lots of trees are there. You will study that separately. Right now, let's not deviate from what is happening here. Okay.
Okay.
So just consider you understood the difference between tree and graph. That's more than enough for computational thinking. Okay.
Okay. Sir, in a DFS tree, can a node be connected with multiple nodes?
Yeah, now C is connected to E and G, right?
Okay, but in terms of in degree, can it have?
No. Okay. There will always be a unique path to reach from root node to any node. That is again tree.
Okay.
You cannot have two different paths to reach to same node. That again becomes a graph.
Okay. It is not forming a cycle, but
It's not a cycle, but again, there are multiple paths to reach to same node. For example, you have D to C, then there are two paths to reach to C. That's the place there is a confusion, and which is not allowed in trees.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, and always trees are constructed from left to right.
Left to right.
Left to right. I mean, if there is a node, you're supposed to add left child first, then right child.
Okay.
Okay. So you cannot directly have D and you skip B. I mean, you wanted to add something, you added directly as a right child, that will not work. I mean, there are some special trees where there is a requirement of doing something, that's a different story. But as I said, this is foundational level at this point. Just consider what I'm saying. Okay. Later on, you will get this detail where what is allowed, what's not allowed. Those intricacies you will study separately in PDSA. Over there, there will be, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, at least 2 weeks are there dedicated to trees. Okay. So that's something you will study later. Right now, just think of this particular thing. Okay.
Okay.
So I hope this graph and tree background is clear. Now, can we start with DFS?
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay. So you are supposed to start with A. So from A, as I said, there are two options, B or D. In over here, let's say we decided to go to B because that's the left part, right? That means inherently that's what this particular tree implies, that from A, we decided to go to B, which is fine. From B, again, there are two options, C and F. Now, again, we decided to go to C.
So what does left mean? Left means left to the node, left.
Left to the node. I mean, in a pictorial manner, whatever your left is.
But here it's
we have given
B
this
to
graph,
C
sir.
connected in the right direction.
No, B is on the left of A, right?
Yes, but C is on the right of the B.
Yeah, C is on the right. I mean, that just, I mean, I understand that that's a mistake. It should have been on the left. I think it's just drawing. I mean, whoever draw that tree made a mistake. It just assume it's over here. I think it wasn't it wasn't occupying the proper space in the image. So it was just a reduction technique.
But sir, we are not given this tree. We have given this graph. So
yes,
in this graph,
correct.
How can we know which is left and which is right?
No, I'm not saying. See, whenever you add a new node into a tree, first add it towards left.
Okay.
Or if there is only one sub node, you should always assume it is on the left.
But here, sir, assume that nodes in the left branch are visited first. It is given here that assume that the nodes in the left branch are visited first.
Correct.
Nodes which are to the left of any node in this graph are to be visited first. So left of the node or left to so if you consider A node, then B is to our left, but B is to the left of A.
No, don't think that way. I will just clarify that part. See, B is a left child of A. That's how the tree terminology is. A has two children. One is B, other is D. B is a left child and D is a right child. That's how it is considered. Okay. Who asked that? Siddharth, is that part clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear. But now when we come to B, which one is the left child of B? Suppose.
Okay, so suppose I'll tell you, B has only one child, right? Siddharth, B has only one child, which is C.
Look at the graph, sir. Graph, because we are given the graph, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. In a graph, left and right concept is not there. This particular thing is there only for you to understand the options.
Okay.
The left and right part is not for graph. Graph doesn't have this concept of left and right.
Because what I try to do is I try to construct a tree from the graph. I try to construct a tree from the graph.
Correct. That's how it should be. But the what question says, question is you're supposed to analyze the given trees and find out which one are not DFS or which are DFS. Something, I mean, either of two. I don't know
So
what.
we have to first analyze the tree and see whether it fits the graph or not.
Yes, correct. In this case, you will have to do in a reverse order. See, if you go from the graph, you will end up getting maybe some 10 or 15 trees.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then it will be a, I mean, it's almost impossible, or maybe it's a very time consuming to compare all your 10, 15 trees with the all options and figure out what's there and what's not there, right? Yes. So best way to answer this question is to go in a reverse order, analyze the option and work out your solution in the opposite manner, right?
Okay.
That's why I'm saying, see, and that's why I was saying, see, for B, there is only one child, right? Which is C.
Okay.
So inherently, it is left child. That's my point. Whenever you fill up a tree, you always fill the left side first and right side second. Yeah, visually, I understand it is on the right, but see, computer is not going to construct this particular image. In a computer, there is some data structures which are there, which keeps track of who's on left, who's on right, and all those things are there, which you will study in PDSA as I was telling you. There is a specific concept of left and right and all that. You will even no, in Python it may not be there, but yeah, in PDSA definitely it's there. So let's not go into these details, internal details. Just consider this: if a tree has two children, the left one is supposed to be filled first, then right. And if a node has only one child, then it is always left. Because that's the principle. You do left first, then you right. That's what that statement is. Assume that the nodes in the left branch are visited first. You should do always left first, then right. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So that's why, I mean, as we were saying, right, we went from A to B, we went from B to C. Again, at C, there are now three options, H, G, and E. Now, as per this first option, from C, we went to E. Now, at E, we again have two options, B and F. But B was already explored, right? So we are not supposed to consider that. I mean, we cannot have H from, again, E to B. That's not valid tree. So B is gone. Only valid option is F. So from E, we went to F. So at F, there is only one outgoing edge, which is towards A. Again, A is already done. You cannot have edge from edge as in that arrow from F to A. That's not valid. That means now we are stuck at F. There is no way to go from F, right? So as per depth first search, we are supposed to do something. That terminology is called backtracking. What is backtracking? You go one step above. How you came to F from E. So you go back to E. Now at E, you again check, are there any other possibilities which you skipped earlier? So at E, what are two options? B and F. Both are explored. So again at E, there is no other option. You go back at C. Again at C, you check what are the possibilities are there or not. Okay, so at C, three possibilities, H, G, and E. E was already done. So now we have two options, H and G. For example, I did G. At G, there is one option, which is H. So you did H. But at H again, if you see, we stuck because there is only outgoing edge, which is towards A, which we cannot have. So at H, we stuck. So that's the point. We backtrack. We backtrack to G. At G, is there any option? H and E, both are explored. So G, no option. You go back to C. Again, no option. Go back to B, no option. I mean, if you observe the graph, you will find out there are no paths. So you go back.
All the nodes. We have visited all the nodes. So
then you go back to A, and that's where you found out, okay, D was missing. So you did that D. And that's where your DFS is done. Because all the nodes are visited now. Now, at any point of time, we had multiple choices, right? Which one to do, which one to skip. So instead of choosing B, if we have choose something else, we will get a different tree. Every time we make a different call, we'll get a different tree. And that's why DFS always will give you n number of trees. And all are correct answers. All are depth first search trees. Okay. And then there will be few which are not. And now we'll see which are correct and which are not. Let me just quickly
B
select
and
the
C
correct
are
answer.
incorrect.
If we start from A, if we start from A, we'll have limited number of options, because ultimately we'll go down the tree and then we have to come back to A in order to go to D, because
Yeah,
D,
but see, that
D-
is true. Always we have to start from some node. So in this question, it is given that starting node is A. We are not supposed to change that information.
yes, yes. So from
Okay.
only way to go to D is through A. So we'll have a separate link for D.
Yeah,
from
that
A.
is fine. That is fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is always that will always be possibility. Okay, so we see DFS algorithm will not tell you what should be your starting point. It's an input. It is always an input given to DFS. I mean, as a programmer, you have to tell your algorithm what is your starting point.
Sir, in DFS, we used to do numbering like for backtrack and for depth. So why we do that?
What we used to do?
Actually, in maths, DFS, the professor do numbering for backtrack and for depth. Like if they go one depth, like it is starting from A, so they do 0. Like they put a value 0. Then as they go in deep in the different vertex, they increase the number like 0
Correct.
to 1, 1
So
to 2.
at the end, you will get some highest number at the
Yes,
towards end, right?
and as they backtrack, they also put the backtrack number in different colors.
Correct, correct.
Is there any why do they that like that?
Okay, at the end, you will get some highest number either on this branch or this branch, and that number signifies the height of the tree.
Okay, so we can get numerically we can tell the longest path.
Correct.
Or
The
depth.
longest route represents the height of the tree.
Okay,
And that
okay.
height of the tree has some significance with respect to algorithms. That's why we do that.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, and right now, as I said, you will study all this again in depth. Right now, it's just an overview of DFS, right? In fact, it's just the basic algorithm of DFS, which is, I mean, we have not done anything much on trees side. We just did on graphs, if you remember. Week A 9, 10, 11, we did graphs, but trees appeared only once in DFS. We haven't explored trees part to that depth, which you will.
So from DFS tree, like from DFS tree, we can assume what could be the possible graph of that tree.
No, you cannot. You cannot. See,
From
this is your DFS tree, right?
Yes.
That means you just know that there is a H from A to B, there is H from A to D.
Okay.
How will you know there is H from D to A or B to A or not? Whether there is a H from B to D or not. How will you know all this? There are n number of possibilities. B to D may not be there, because if that's the case, D will appear down here. But there is a possibility of having H from B to A, D to A, maybe H to D. All sorts of these possibilities are there, right? Which you cannot predict. So you can derive a tree from a graph, but you cannot derive graph from tree. You can just at max, you can tell whether this is a possibility or not. Like, for example, I said, you cannot have H from B to D. That's not at all possible, because if assuming this is a valid tree, valid DFS tree, if this is a valid DFS tree, then you cannot have H from B to D. If there is a H from B to D, then D will not come below A. D will come next to B, right? It will be a right child of B.
Yes.
Right. So these things you can tell that this is definitely not possible. But beyond that, you cannot reconstruct the whole graph.
Okay.
Sir, in this case, we need to check all the options, sir, one after the other.
Correct. You have to check all the options. I mean, whatever just now I said, right? We surely know that B to D edge is not possible. And that's exactly, I mean, with that kind of logic you have to apply in order to figure out why B and C are incorrect. Okay. Now that we'll see why B and C are incorrect. So that's the where the whole discussion started. So let me go back to that. From A to B, B to C, and then C to E, C to G. That's the graph we have, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, the problem is you came from A to B. Just remember this sequence, A, B, C, E. Okay.
Mm.
You went from A to B, B to C, C to E. Okay.
Yes, sir.
At E, what you did, you just stopped and went back and explored C again.
Mm.
Why? That's incorrect, because at E, you had another option called F. So at C, so actually you're not stuck at C. As I said, you can go back, you can do backtracking only if you stuck at some point.
Yes.
But
So,
you were not stuck at E. There was option, this F option was there. So ideally that F should have appeared over here, which we did
Okay,
not.
sir.
That's why it's
Okay,
not a valid DFS tree. I
Actually,
understand, I mean,
sir,
there might be some other reasons also, but that's the obvious
easy
one
way
which
to
I
pick.
can see.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir. It's
The
easy way
nodes
to
in the
valid.
left, the nodes in the left branch has to be visited first. That's the reason, sir.
Correct. That's why we explicitly even mentioned here, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I missed this part.
Okay.
Actually, I had visited A to D to F first.
Okay. Then you will find that this is a correct answer, right?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why I.
See, if I mean, there is a way to do that. I mean, if you take a mirror image of this particular graph, then it will be a valid DFS tree.
Yes. It will be
Okay.
valid. Yes.
Yeah, it will be valid. But see, it's not just about, I mean, right now in this question, it is purely based on your, visual skills, what is on left and what is on the right. But computers don't do it that way. As I said, the computer has a way of storing which one is on left and which one is on right. Computer doesn't process images. Okay. I mean, that's not what the algorithm will do. Algorithm will have its own data structures to maintain that information, saying what is left, what is right, and all that. And that is the place where you will study one more data structure which will help you maintain this. Maybe you might have heard about it, something called as linked list. If not, then just don't worry about it. You will study that part, and that will help you, maintain all this information. Or maybe even you can take help of simple dictionary. Okay, take a dictionary, and it's a nested dictionary. And for every node, you have two sub keys, left and right. So for A, you have two keys, left, right. So what is the value for left? B. What is the value for right? D. For B, again, there are two sub keys. Left is C, right is, you can keep it empty. Or maybe as we did in CT, you can keep it none. Are you getting? And that dictionary will represent this left-right part. So that is how computers do it, not using pictures. I mean, as I said, right, at this level, we don't want to introduce trees too much. That's why we just went ahead with images for now. But you will learn how to do that using those data structures as well in upcoming courses. Okay. Same problem is there over here also.
Okay, sir, got it.
Option C also, because that F is supposed to be there below E. Right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. Any more discussion and any more doubts on this specific question or DFS? Yeah, Bishwajit,
sir,
is clear for you?
Sir, I have one more doubt in this activity itself. Question number 2.
Is it? No, hold on. Let me finish DFS part first. Is anyone have doubt with DFS or this question number 4? Okay. So then I'll take your question. Rajiv, your questions are done, right?
Yes, sir. My question is
okay. Okay. So anyway, Bishwajit, you were next in the line.
I have also doubt in question number 2, sir. Yes.
Question number, okay, fine. Okay. So Bishwajit, you are asking about question number 2 only, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 2 adjacent nodes of DFS tree in the lecture represent the mentoring of student in 2 different subjects. Okay. So what's the doubt?
Sir, I didn't get the meaning of this statement. I mean, 2 adjacent nodes of 2 adjacent nodes of a particular node, or
2 adjacent nodes of a DFS tree.
DFS tree
represent the mentoring of student in 2 different subjects.
So it must be one subject.
No, I mean, you have to see what is exactly been discussed in this lecture 11.2. I think they are considering that whether somebody has scored more than other in 2 subjects, then only they are drawing the age. I think that's the case.
No, sir, they are
sir.
drawing the mentoring age, sir. 10 to
Correct,
20
but
marks difference.
one can mentor only when the student got more than other student in 2 subjects, right?
No, sir. Only one.
No, sir.
Okay,
not
sorry. I misread it. It's not 2. It says in 2 different, in 2 different subjects. That's correct. That's what I was talking about. Can you watch that lecture again? I believe that's
Yes,
what
sir,
the professors are doing in that lecture. See, as in you are comparing.
Here 2 adjacent nodes means should we consider for any of 2 nodes which are connected?
No, okay, yeah, that's what I mean. Don't focus too much on this part. I mean, you can draw that tree for 1 subject, 2 subject, 3 subject, or even 5 subject. Doesn't matter. The point you have to understand is what is the meaning of 2 adjacent nodes in DFS tree. If you understand this, then that's the then we achieve the motive of this particular question. What is adjacent nodes of DFS tree? DFS tree, okay? Now this is a DFS tree.
Yes, sir.
What are the adjacent nodes? What is the word adjacent mean? You remember, just think about this with respect to graph. You have studied word adjacent earlier.
It's kind of neighbor.
No, sir. If
Yes,
there is,
neighbor.
if there is a node,
yes, if there is a direct
edge,
if there is a direct edge, they become adjacent. So A and B are adjacent. A and D are adjacent, but A and C are not adjacent.
Okay.
So if there is an edge, now you understood adjacent part. Now read this: 2 adjacent nodes of DFS tree.
Okay.
So if there is, let's say A and B are adjacent, that means what? Now A can mentor B because A must have
one
got some.
subject.
Yeah, that's what I said, right? That's something you have to watch in lecture. That what exactly professor did, I don't remember whether they did it for 1 lecture or 2 or 1 subject or 2 subjects. See, you can have a condition, right? If A scores more than B in physics and mathematics, then only I will consider A as a mentor for B. You can have that condition, right? Easily, just a and. X dot mathematics, A dot mathematics is greater than B, and A dot physics is greater than B dot physics. Then only A to B age will be added.
We can have, but in the lecture, the professor labeled that age for the 1 subject. I mean, they have written only P or M or C over there. I mean,
actually, sir, in the lecture, it was the condition that if A have more than 10 to 20 marks from B, then he can lecture B. He can mentor B.
Correct.
In such a way, if A has the highest mark in the class, then he can mentor all the students, mentor in all the subjects, all the 3 subjects.
Not necessary, right? The difference has to be 10 to 20, right?
Yes, sir. At least 10 and at most 20.
Yeah, correct. So then the topper may not be able to mentor all, right? Because difference may exceed 20 for many students. But anyway, see, I don't remember exactly what is being discussed exactly at what second of which lecture. Practically it's not possible, right? To remember by heart all lectures. So don't worry about that part. See, 1 subject, 2 subjects, that's not the part you should remember. If you understood this, then that's important. And that's why the answer is
anyone here who got the right can please tell me that what is the consideration.
So Bishwajit, you got confused because of this first part or the second part?
No, sir, second part.
Second part.
Okay. Don't. Yes.
And then Bishwajit, I'll tell you, don't worry too much about it. Okay. Even though you got wrong because of that, don't worry. It's just specific to the lecture. Maybe I've changed the condition. Then instead of 2 subjects, it becomes 3 subjects. I changed the condition, it becomes 1 subject. That's not at all the idea behind this question. Whatever we wanted to check with raising this question is this part. If you understood that, then it's okay. Okay. Don't worry about this second part. Okay. It's just additional condition, right? Either you add it or you remove it. 2 becomes 1, 2 becomes 3. It's just 1 and some condition, right? That's not important. If you understand the part adjacency of DFS tree, then you got it right. That's how you should treat it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Rajiv, is it clear for you also?
Clear, sir.
Okay, great. So, okay, yes, Yogendra, you have raised your hand again. I think
Yes,
you had
yes.
some questions and asked you.
Yes, sir.
I think I told you I'll come back to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So only you
Activity.
and Karthik are there, so I'll answer your question and then we'll move to week 10. What Karthik has? Yeah, Yogendra.
Is sir 11.4, question number 4.
11.4. Question number 4. Okay.
Sir, how can we do?
Okay, how many train nodes can be visited while traversing through the longest path if starting node is a station? Okay. Okay, what is happening? Okay, but before that, what is your answer?
I did not do the expression.
Okay. Let's first see what the question. Assume that there are 11 nodes in the longest path of DFS tree. I hope you understand what this statement means.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There are 11 nodes in the longest path. That means from root node to the longest possible leaf node. I hope you understand the term leaf node, right?
Yes, sir.
The longest path is 11. The length is 11. And okay, according to the concept used in the lecture, answer the following questions. Okay, remember. Okay, there are things switching. Okay, how many train nodes can be visited while traversing through the longest path if starting node is a station? That means the root node is a station. Then we are seeing how many trains are there, right?
Yes.
See, this number 5 is very basic thing to calculate. The point you have to understand is what we have discussed in the lecture. What is happening in that particular lecture 11.4? Have you watched lecture 11.4?
Yes, sir.
So what is happening in lecture 11.4? You are switching from station to train to station. You are switching continuously from one set of cards to other set of cards, right? You pick information from train, you jump to station cards. You pick some information from stations, you again jump to trains. So if there are 11 nodes, they will be alternately available on the path, right? If the first one is, let's say, station, then the second one will be train. Because from station node, you got some information of train, you jump to train. From that train, you got some information, you jump to station again.
Yes.
So it's alternate station, train, station, train, station, train. That's how that particular algorithm or that particular procedure is explained in lecture 11.4, right?
Yes.
So if assuming the first one is station, that means first is station, then third is station, fifth is station, seventh is station, ninth is station, 11th is station. So all odd numbers are stations. So all even numbers are trains.
Yes.
So it's as simple as that. How many even numbers are there from 1 to 11?
Right.
That's what I said. The computation is not the question here. The question is understanding what this implies.
Okay.
Now you got why 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's why I said, I mean, whether have you watched the lecture and understood? That's the point here. Nothing. I mean, the 5 is not important. Again, as we were discussing in previous question. Answer is not important. Understanding this part is important. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, one more thing. Previous question, you like DFS tree. Sir, in the BFS tree, we go level by level, but in DFS, we cannot go level by level. Is it right?
Yes, correct. That's right.
Okay, sir.
BFS is breadth first, right? So whoever is connected to me, I will explore all those first. Then I will consider who they are connected with.
Okay.
So as I said, I am connected to, let's say, 3. So I will explore all 3. Then I will check to whom those 3 are connected. So that's you finish one level, then go to next level. That's the breadth first search.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we do not have BFS algorithm in CT course, so don't worry about
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In maths we have.
But yeah, it's there in mathematics, right?
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. I mean, you will study BFS. Don't worry. We are not skipping on that. You will study that and the comparison between DFS and BFS, their applications and all sorts of those things will happen. But in that PDSA course. And again, Madhavan sir will come and do all that. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. So Bishwajit Roy this time. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a doubt in question number 9, sir. If week 11 completed, sir, then can we go to week 10, sir?
Week 10, right? Yeah, the Karthik is already waiting for week 10. So yes, Karthik, go ahead. So after
Yes,
that, I will
my
continue this, Vijay.
my question is also on graded assignment 10. Question number 9.
Sir, I
Yes,
think
sir,
yours is also same, right?
Yeah, same, sir. Actually,
okay.
I have a doubt in question number 6, but it is clear because it is given. Actually, I didn't notice and not. And not means or. So option should be or. So the doubt have been clear, sir.
Okay,
by myself, sir. So question number 9. Sir.
Okay.
Sir, I think question number
let's,
9 and 10 is incorrect in the making of.
Yeah, question number 9 and 10, we announced that there was a mistake.
Announcement. Yes, sir.
Yeah, there was a mistake. I mean, we realized it as soon as we published it. So
yes, sir. So the customer name should be there for. I mean, the keys of that dictionary.
No, I mean there are some issues are there. Let's not go into that. So don't worry. If 9 is the confusion, if the question itself is wrong.
Yeah, because see, as per my, workout, the answer which is D, but the answer is given as B. So that's what I got confused. Like how it is B.
No, actually, it will not even be. There is some problem in the pseudocode itself. So actually, none of the options are right. Otherwise, it was easy for us to change it in the back end, right? Just change the option from whatever to whatever, and you will get evaluated accordingly. But there is some problem in the pseudocode itself, and we do not change the question after it is published. So that's why we had to remove it from evaluation. So even though you got 0 marks for this, they will not be evaluated. I think it's already done, I believe. Yeah, 9 carries 0 points and 10 also carries 0 points. So you must have got your correct score.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine.
So instead of index, if we write.
Sorry, I think sorry to keep you on hold just to.
No, it's I mean, it was worthwhile because
So they have deducted marks for that, sir.
No, that will be evaluated. I mean that they may not have done the whole calculation. It will get updated.
Yeah,
because sir, I have
basically not. Because of the marks, but to understand the logic, like where I have gone wrong. That's the reason. Basically.
Yeah. I understand totally. So Bishwajit, don't worry about marks. That will be taken care of.
No, sir. Actually, I'm not bothering about the marks. I'm just actually same like Karthik also. Even I just wanted to know that where because I need to attend the final exam, right? So I prepare for that. So that's the reason I just wanted to know that where I'm getting wrong, sir. Because like I have identified like in question number 6, I was wrong in question number 6 and question number 9 only. So I have noticed where I did a mistake in question number 6, but 9 I couldn't identify that where I have done the mistake. So that is the reason I just wanted to know, sir.
Yeah, right. So actually there is some minor issue. I mean, this is the correct answer, but it fails for some corner cases. There is a case. I mean, if one visits one shop and other 2 visits 2 different shops, then there is some whole lot of different issue, and because of that, this answer becomes invalid. So I don't think everyone would have noticed it, but yeah, there is there is a minor bug in this.
I got overlapping of answers.
That's what I'm saying, right? There is a minor bug, and because of that, all sorts of those things are happening. That's why immediately we realized it and we took the question back. I mean, not physically, but we announced saying please ignore it. And as the pseudocode has a mistake, naturally the 10 is based on that, so it also has a mistake.
Yes.
Otherwise, in standalone 10 is okay, but 10 uses this, right? That's why we had to take both back.
Sir, in the question and the pseudocode, in both the cases there is mistakes. Like in the question,
Okay.
It's written that when we'll find goods, in that parameter case, it's n there. It should be matrix there because we don't know what is n.
Okay. Oh, that's a
Yes,
typo, but that's still, I will consider that's nothing. I mean, code bug is unacceptable. This is something at least we can
and
at
in the
least
code,
say something.
what
It's with pure
yes,
logic. I mean, with common understanding, we can at least do something. But this wasn't. This was bad.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And in the pseudocode, what I found that instead of assigning the key to the what is that sequence number, if we just create a key for each customer, then the whole the whole pseudocode will be the correct one.
Yes,
you
sir,
can notice
customer
it.
name. Suppose we put it as customer name, then it is
For each customer name, yes, sir.
Okay.
Then the whole will be the correct.
Okay. Maybe next term, right? Your juniors will make those changes and give these questions to them. Yeah, but Karthik and other Bishwajit Roy, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nothing was there to be cleared up, but yeah.
Basically, see, my doubt was something else. So since you told that the pseudocode itself is wrong, so I'm unable to clarify what my doubt was. So
okay, I mean, if there is something which is related to the understanding in general, maybe we can discuss. But this pseudocode
it's not to the understanding. Actually, with the answer which I have derived.
No. Then don't worry. I mean, then your understanding will be correct. I mean, in fact, see, it's a bad code, so you should not try to study something using bad code. So better to ignore it. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, yeah, great. Okay, thank you.
Sure, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, anybody else?
Yes, sir. Sir, please explain question number 6.
Question number 6 of same assignment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bishwajit Roy, you understood that, right?
Yeah.
Do
Because
you want to give it a try?
Yes. See, the in line number 11, see, it is written that and not member. So and not means it is or. So that's why the question the option
or and not means not or.
Not or. Not. Yeah. Not.
No.
Not and. Not and.
Not of this. And remains and. I don't think you understood that correctly. And remains and. Not member means we are taking not of member. I mean, member returns true, then not makes it false. If it returns false, then not makes it true.
True,
this
yes.
Is and remains and. This is not or. This remains and only.
H is not a member of the set.
Yeah.
Not a member of the set matrix 2 JK.
Yes, that's how you should read it. See, if H is not member of this, is the condition which we are ending with these first three.
Sorry, list. H is not a member of the list matrix JK.
When member will return,
has to be executed with list only. So
yes. When member will return false, it will become true, not false. So it will become true.
Correct. So this is negation. Opposite of what this returns is that not. So Vishwajit Roy, that's how you should read it. This is not or. Okay, this is not.
Yes, sir. Actually, I misspelled the thing, sir.
Okay. So going back to the person who actually asked that out. Who asked that?
Me.
Yogendra, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe I'll explain it then. What was the doubt in the first place? I mean, you stuck at some specific line, or what's the issue with this question?
I'm confused with this pseudocode.
Okay. Fine. Let's see what the question is. The following pseudocode creates adjacency matrix called matrix 2. Okay, as it's happening here. of another graph H from books. First, do you know what is books?
Sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So books is discussed somewhere above, right? Books is a dictionary. Right? I'm correct. No, books is a dictionary. Yeah, books is a dictionary where keys represent what? A book ID, and associated value against is a list of authors who wrote that book. So what does this mean? Author 0, 2, and 3 wrote book 0.
Yes, sir.
Author 1, 5, 8, and n-1, whatever, wrote m-1 book. Okay, that's what that books dictionary is. Okay, so of another graph H of G, some another graph using books. That's what this matrix 2 is. For two different authors, I went into 5, but yeah, I and J, what does the value matrix 2 of IJ represent at the, okay, that's the question, right? What does this represent? Only, and the thing you have to remember is I and J are different authors. Okay, those are some unique values, right? Distinct values. So matrix 2 we created. Okay, this part you understand? Line number 1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, line number 2, we are iterating over all rows of and all k, all the entire matrix to be say all rows or columns. Because see, whenever you create it with this, it will have all zeros in it, right? We want to replace those zeros with list.
Yes, sir.
Right. So right now, at the end of this, we have a matrix of size n into n, and every cell of that matrix. I hope you understand what is cell of a matrix, right? Every single unit of that matrix, right?
Yes, sir.
Is a empty list.
Yes, sir.
Right? Can you imagine this scenario?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Every element of matrix is empty list.
Yes, it's a matrix with empty lists in it. All the places there will be empty lists, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right. Good. Now what we are doing? We are iterating over all keys of books. What is keys of books?
The serial number of books.
All the serial numbers of book. So I will iterate from 0 to m-1, right?
Yes.
If you remember,
Yes,
0 to m-1. Similarly, J will also do same thing. No, J is books of I.
Yes.
What is books of I?
That serial number. The books of that
I
serial.
think
No,
it is
what
the
is books
author.
of I? Yes,
Author.
books of I is the all the authors of book I.
Yes, it is a list.
List, right?
List, sir.
So
Author who have authored a single book.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. So Aditya. Yeah, let Yogendra answer it.
Yes, sir.
Yogendra, are you understanding this? Books
Yes,
of I is what? It's a list of all the authors who wrote this book I.
Yes, sir.
Is that part clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
So what is J? J is iterating on all those authors who wrote this book I.
Yes, sir.
Then K is again books of I. So K is again iterating on that same list. Same list of authors who wrote book I.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then H in books of I. H is again another variable which is iterating on list of authors who wrote book I.
Books.
So what we are doing, there are 3 different variables which are iterating over a list. What that list represents? All the authors who wrote a book. Which book? The book which we are iterating on using first loop. Is this particular structure clear?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I understand it's too complicated. There are 4 nested loops, so naturally it is complicated. But are you able to imagine what is happening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We are going through first book, second book, third book, fourth book till m-1 book in first loop. That the first for each. Second for each, second, third, and fourth for each loops. All 3 are iterating over that list alone. So initially, the value of, let's say, I is, let's assume 0, then J, K, L, right? What is that? J, K, and H. So that and H will be 0, 0, 0, then 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 3, then 0 to 0. That's how it will go, right? You're still iterating on that same list. Is that part clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now with that information, now let's jump to this part. What we are saying, if j is not equal to k, j is not equal to h, and k is not equal to h. That means all three values, j, k, and h,
Different.
are distinct, right? They are different.
Yes, sir.
So if that is the case, and h is not member of this particular list.
Matrix.
So as you know that matrix j, k is some cell, that is a list, and if that list doesn't have h in it,
yes,
then we are supposed to do this. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So the point is, what is happening? J, K, all these are distinct, right? They are different. Let's take this example. 0, 2, 3. When they will be different? One of them is pointing to 0, other one is pointing to 2, other one is pointing to 3. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So let's assume your j is 0, k is 2, and h is 3. Okay?
Yes, sir.
0, 2, and 3. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we are checking for jk, what is jk? J and k, that is 0 and 2. For 0 and 2, we are checking that that particular list at cell 0, 2, h is there inside that list or not. H is 3. So 3 is there in that list or not. Initially, it will not be, right? Because we just started with empty list. So it will not be there. So it will return false. Not of false is true. And because of that, the entire condition becomes true. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So what we are doing for that entry jk, we are appending h. At the same time, kj also we are appending h. I mean, it's just the reverse version of it. For jk, we are appending h. For kj, we are appending h. Is this part clear?
Yes, sir.
What does that imply? And this will happen for all the possibilities when j, k, and h are unique, are different. Right now we said 0, 2, 3. Next time we can reverse them. 0, 3, 2. Or maybe 2, 0, 3. 2, 3, 0. All these possibilities are there, right? I think 6 possibilities will be there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For all such 6 for all say these 6 possibilities, for outer 2 possibilities, I mean for j and k, we are appending h. For j and k, we are appending h. Does that tell you something? That when and where that h is getting added?
Sir, yes, a list of authors and co-authors of book.
Yeah, see, if they have worked together, then only this information will hold true, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, see, we are iterating over a list. So definitely this list will have all the authors who have worked together.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. Sir.
So whenever they work together, we are appending them. We are adding the third author for those 2 authors. What does this mean? J and K have worked with H. That's what it means,
yes.
right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep doing that for all the books.
Yes, sir. Got it. Sir, one more doubt. Sir, if the in condition statement, if the be replace and operator with or operator, then it will be option either or, correct?
Okay, hold on. No, it will, I mean, it will be absolutely incorrect pseudocode, right? Because then J and K can be equal also. Then you are comparing me with myself, right?
Okay.
Then you are just checking whether I co-authored a book with myself. That doesn't make any sense, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that not equal to, I mean, that and has to be there.
Okay.
Okay. If you make it or, then the entire pseudocode goes wrong. It will not make any other option correct.
Okay.
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 So before that, have you understood how you got this answer? Yogendra? Okay, I think we lost.
Sir, one question regarding some basic question regarding this code. Can you scroll up, sir?
Yeah.
Hello.
More?
Sir, here we have made this matrix create matrix, and each entry of this create matrix is initially 0. So it's an integer data type. So it's an integer data type, and then we convert this matrix into each entry of this matrix into a list.
Right.
So can we change the data type of every entry of this matrix too? Is it possible to change the data type?
Okay, it is possible. I mean, I don't know in what sense, whether to tell you with respect to CT or with respect to some other language or in general. See, this is a more convenient thing in CT to do. That's why we did it, to be honest. In Python, yes, it is allowed to change the data type of any variable at any point of time in the code. Python allows you that, gives you that flexibility. Languages like C or C++ will not give you that flexibility, or even Java for that matter. They will allow you, but there is some tricky procedure which you have to go through in order to change the data type. Python is very flexible and very easily you can do it. So in CT, we went Python's way and we did that. Okay. So it's I mean, I think I have given you this answer many times. It is language specific.
Just wondering because the data type was changed. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah, I understand. It is language specific. See, all languages will allow you to change, but every language will have its own limitations and the ways to do it. Okay.
Sir, but the thing that here, I mean, all are being changed to a particular data type. But is there any possibility that we can have the intermixing of so many data types in a matrix? Like all the diagonal elements can be 0, and then all other.
I understand. I got the point. Okay, I'll tell you.
Yes.
See, matrix is naturally, if you consider it, matrix is not a data structure in computer science. Okay.
It's considered as nested.
It is actually a nested dictionary, right? So if the underlying data structure allows you to do that, then you can.
Okay.
Again, that underlying data structure is language specific.
Okay. But here, each inner
as we have dictionary, yes, we can,
length.
right? Dictionary allows you to have different data type values stored in it, right?
Yes.
So if dictionary allows you, then yeah, you can.
Okay.
You understood the idea behind it, right? I mean, why I am, instead of giving you just answer yes and no, why I'm giving you all this, long explanation. I hope it's clear.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a doubt on graded assignment 9 that I think we have.
Yeah, sure. I mean, nobody else is asking doubts. I mean, no more hands are raised. So yeah.
Sir, I have also graded assignment 9, sir.
Yeah, sure. So both Vishwajits. Same number. I mean, just tell me what question number.
So the question which was before the last question.
The second last question.
Right. Yes, sir. Right before. Yes. Second last.
This one.
Yes. Sir, actually,
the same question, sir. 50 number.
Before, but we have discussed before that.
Yeah, this one I think we discussed in a length in previous live session. I don't remember some previous open session whenever I conducted.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am asking that the option 4
Option 4. Yes, Bishwajit, your voice is breaking. Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, now you are audible. Can you repeat
Yes,
the last option? What you're saying?
I am saying that the last option can be correct here.
No.
Sir, how? Sir, like you have assumed that you have a symmetric matrix for the direct matrix. So if we have a symmetric matrix for the direct matrix, then we will definitely have the symmetric matrix for that.
Yeah, so that's what we discussed last time. I don't know whether you were there or not. So direct matrix might be symmetric. So we were discussing, right? Direct matrix will be symmetric, but we go ahead and do this one hop calculation, right? The matrix may not remain symmetric.
No, sir, it will be symmetric because, sir, suppose we have a S from A to B, then B to C, then C to D. Okay. If we have a S from A to B, then we will definitely have an S from B to A.
Correct.
If it's connected directly.
What we were discussing was, see, return train may not follow same route.
Yeah, it may not follow same route, but in terms of direct connectivity, it follow the same. I mean, follow the same station. For a particular train,
endpoints, you're saying endpoints will remain as
right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, the endpoints will remain as it is.
Yes,
so,
and we are considering it for the endpoints only.
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. Okay, so it to be. Okay. I don't remember what we discussed last time, and we concluded towards the end that this is wrong.
Sir, actually,
I don't remember. I mean, we had some more than half an hour discussion on this question.
Sir, last time I think you have considered it like in terms of hops, we may not have the symmetric matrix, but after that, I mean, I just thought about it in depth. So
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if we have S from A to B, then B to C direct.
Yeah, I got your point. So if we assume that part, that there is a reverse direction train and the matrix is symmetric by its nature, then doesn't matter, right? Whether it's KR or a KRC or the order doesn't matter for those keys, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, that is the. I mean, that part is correct. The only thing we have to consider is whether to do that initial assumption or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also asked this to Deepak sir, and he told me that
what he said?
He will have a briefly discussion with you, and then.
Okay. When was this?
I think it was there in on-demand session.
Okay.
Just last on-demand session.
Few days back.
Yes, sir. Few days.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, we did not get a
he
chance.
Was not able. Yes, sir. Actually, he was not able to give a conclusion immediately.
Yeah.
So
because the same reason, right? This part is something we have to. I mean, code-wise, there is no confusion. Confusion is whether to do that initial assumption or not, right?
Yes, sir.
That part is, I mean, not clear because it's never mentioned anywhere explicitly, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
But that gives this particular, Actually, I mean, to be honest, we did not had any discussion on this for last couple of days. I mean, in fact, we did not had any discussion other than your interim paper. So, yeah. Maybe we'll send a formal announcement specific to this question. That's I think better. No, let's not do this live session to live session. Let's not drag it from one live session to next live session. We'll send the announcement.
I actually have a question I forgot to ask you. This is Karthik here.
Yeah, Karthik, just hold on. Let me first close this. So Bishwajit, is that fine?
Yes, sir, it is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir,
yeah,
just a
Anushri.
second, sir. So
Yes.
in this question, we don't have to assume that it's symmetric, right? Because it's just said that we're just using the template of the trains data set, right? We're not
Right.
taking the entire data set.
Correct.
So it need not be symmetric, right?
Okay.
So this last option will not be correct.
Okay. So that's your thought process. See, so that's the point, right? Everyone is coming up with their own thought process. I mean, there is no way, there is no, a solid ground on which we can say one is wrong and other is right. So yeah, that's why I said let's it's better that we clear it from our side that what to assume for exam purpose. I mean, anyway, in exam such questions will not be there. I mean, the matrix question will be there. The trained dataset question will be there for sure. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this the question where this ambiguity will come. So that thing will take care of. I mean, it's already taken care of. But yeah, this thing is something we will formally announce it, and that's better.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
So it's not just for Bishwajit or Anushri or whoever. Or Siddharth with whom I had discussion last time. It's for all. We'll better to send a formal announcement regarding this. If required, we'll talk to profs also once that what to do. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Thanks. Yes, Karthik, you are saying something.
Yes.
Sorry.
See, actually, the question is about the activity question 11.1. Question number 2.
Now your
I don't know whether the problem is with my understanding or.
Yeah. Anyway, just tell me what's the question. Which question? Question number 2.
2. Yeah.
Okay. We discussed this question earlier.
No.
Yeah, we did.
No. Activity 11.1.
Oh, 11.1. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, this one. Yeah, tell me.
Okay. Now you're saying that the graph is putting the vertex into one of the two categories, true or false. Okay. Actually, in the lecture 11.1, when professor was explaining about this depth first search, what they're doing is they're comparing the nodes. For example, 2 trains or 2 stations. And then if the station or the train is actually visited or it is seen, they are maintaining a dictionary called seen with that key as true.
Correct.
So which means it is visited.
Right.
Now my understanding is that we are not maintaining a separate key saying it is false, right?
Yes, correct. As per the code, we are not, correct.
We are not. So that's what I want to know whether my understanding of the question is wrong because I chose the answer as false because we are not maintaining 2 categories.
Okay. See, I mean, yeah. Okay, we are not maintaining, but if something is not there as part of the dictionary, then it is separate category, right? I mean, we are not maintaining it, but if just because we are not maintaining it, that means it exists. That's the not visited which exists inherently, right?
That's right.
So, I mean, we can say like, for example, like this, right? Right now, there are some 31 participants in this meeting. So that list I am maintaining. So I can easily get a list of students who are there in CT but did not attend this session, right? I'm not maintaining that list, but using this list, I can get that. I mean, in that way, I'm maintaining that list also, right?
So it can be treated as a complement of one thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, right? I mean, that is, in fact, that is the reason we are not maintaining it. Otherwise,
because
we would have to.
Confused. Yeah,
I mean, I understand. See, this is, so you are at DFS or the logical level, you are correct. This confusion at this English framing of question level.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah, because it's ambiguous, you know.
Yeah, I totally, I accept that part. I accept it. It's ambiguous. Yes.
Because I even wrote a question in the forum, but I did not get a reply for that also.
Oh, really?
Because immediately, yeah.
Sorry,
when you posted that? Yeah, just hold on, Rajiv.
I posted it on 22nd July.
Okay. You are a term student or a
Yes.
qualifier?
I'm a qualifier.
Okay, so
I
on
mean,
Google
student,
Forum. On a Google Forum, that means.
Yes.
Okay. That is unacceptable. It should have been answered.
So you can search for 11.1 and you can find my question by the name Karthikeyan Mani.
Yeah, 22nd July you said, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know why it wasn't.
Yeah, I explained everything. I mean, I wrote a very big description, like this is my understanding.
Yeah,
so
I can see it. I can see it. I just found out. Yeah, it should have been answered. I don't know. I mean, that rarely happens. Is it happened to you before? No, right?
No. I mean, it's not a. I mean, I actually went out of my mind when I was discussing earlier some other question. So I didn't came to my. I mean.
Yeah. No. It should have been answered. That's unacceptable. Yeah, maybe some. Nowadays we have those TAs also, right? So maybe somebody somewhere missed or something. Okay, that's fine. I mean, now is it clear, right? Why it missed, and see, that is more worrying part for me, that somebody did not ask a question, answered a question on forum. So that is something
I was just thinking if these type of questions.
I will handle that maybe later, but yeah, right now it's clear for you, right? That's more important.
It's clear. Because these type of questions are going to come up in the term exam, and
no,
I mean there are chances.
Have you came across something like quiz 1 or quiz 2?
And sir,
yeah, here I have to say something.
Yeah.
In depth first, sir, initially we are assuming that all nodes are unvisited, and thereafter we node by node we visit each and every node, sir. Thereafter we visit each and every node. Then, sir, we are naturally maintaining two categories: visited and not visited.
Yes. That part is correct. What Karthik is saying with respect to data structure implementation, we do not start with a dictionary where all are false and then we make them true one by one. That's not what the implementation is. That's the point he's making.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah. But as you said, right, when you maintain one list, other list is naturally it's just a complement. So that way it is maintained. So again, it's that gap between how you look at the code. I mean, you can modify the code also, right? You can easily modify just small part of the code and you can get this also done. That, I mean, you start with all false and make them true whenever required.
Hello, sir.
Okay, yeah, Parag. So Karthik, is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear, sir. I have lowered my hand. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thanks. Yeah, Parag, yes, go ahead.
Hello, sir. In graded assignment 10, I have doubt in second question.
Okay, hold on. Graded assignment 10, second question, right? Yeah. Okay.
Sir, why option 1 is not correct? I know option 2 is correct, but why option 1 is not correct?
Why option 1 is not correct? Okay. Matrix of ij plus ji is equal to 1. Okay, what is happening? Oh, the 10 and 20, right? Okay. Consider I and J are two students, right? I scored, let's say 90 and J scored, let's say 40.
Okay.
So the difference is more than 20. So ij will not be 1. Ij will be 0. Because of that, this condition will not hold true.
Okay.
Same thing, ji also will be 0.
Actually, sir, can you repeat, please?
Okay, there are two students. See, when we are adding age, this lines means what we are adding age between I and J, right?
Yes, sir.
And when this age is getting added, when the difference of their marks is between 10 and 20, both inclusive.
Yes, sir, understand.
But if their difference is less than 10 or greater than 20, then what happens? Then we are not adding age.
Correct.
Then there will be a lot of such students, their difference is either less than 10 or more than 20. And because of that, their value will be 0, as in ij will be 0. There will not be any age. So how can you say this? So are you understanding or still not clear?
Sir, my doubt is if second option, matrix pH I of j tends to 1 is equal to 1.
Yes.
Then matrix pH ji is equal to 0. It's
correct.
correct.
That is
I
the
understood.
correct answer.
If we summation matrix pH ij plus matrix pH ji, then is equal to not possible, sir, 1.
Okay, that is what I'm saying. Can you tell me the example where this will be 1 with respect to marks? Let's say, tell me how many marks I got, how many marks J got, and because of that, this became 1. Can you tell me one example? Some numbers, whatever marks I and J got. In physics.
Suppose I got 20 marks and J got 8 marks.
Okay. So 8 and 20, right? So difference is 12, and because of that, one of them, let's say I is 12, so this becomes 1 and this becomes 0. So 0 plus 1 plus 0 is 1.
Yes.
Now
Sir.
my question is, instead of, let's say, the 20, that particular student got 50. One student gets 50, other student gets 8.
Yes, sir.
Now what is the difference?
42, sir.
42. That is more than 20?
Yes, sir. More than 20.
This condition will not satisfy?
Yes, sir.
So ij will not become 1? Similarly, ji also will not become 1? Because difference is different. So still it's 42. So ij and ji both will remain 0, 0?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Got it?
Okay.
So that will happen for all those whose difference is either less than 10 or more than 20. What you are saying is true only for those students whose difference lies between 10 and 20 inclusive.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Got
sir.
it? Yeah.
Sir, I have one doubt here, sir.
Yes.
For the same, I have sir, I have written on that discussion form also.
Okay.
Sir, if ij is 0, sir, in that case, like I is less than 0, but j is greater. So from j to I, should it be 1?
Not necessary, right? Greater is not enough for us. We just have to see what is the difference also, right?
Sir,
just because it is greater, it's not enough. This difference has to be between this limit.
Yes, sir. So if I take 60 and 70, 2 terms. So from I to j,
70, okay.
From I to j, it will be 0, but from j to I, it will be 1.
Correct.
So, sir, why this C option is not taken, sir? B is right. I got the point. If something is going to I to j, then it will absolutely go. It will not go from j to I.
Correct.
But if something is not going I to j, it is possible it can go from j to I.
It is possible, but is it the case for all students? For all I and j, is it the case just because ij is 0? Can you blindly say ji is 1?
But sir, it cannot be the case for the B also. The same B can be, sir. B can be the case. B should not be a compulsion.
B will always be the case. B will always be the case. No, you give me any example where this fails. It will never fail for any example. If I scores more than J and that whatever more that extra marks he or she got is within that limit, that means this is 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Then definitely this will be 0, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm saying. This will hold true for all possibilities, but other options may not hold true for all possibilities. That's why for all ij, that part you have to.
This matrix is confusing a lot, sir. Here, sir.
Yeah, it is. It is. See, that's why we have spent 3 weeks on it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It is confusing and it is very important also. It's not just we spent 3 weeks because it's confusing. It is very important.
And the same thing is happening in question 5, sir, where it is not mentioned we have to avoid duplicates. Like in the C option, it is making duplicates, but in the B option, it's not making duplicates.
Okay.
So in question, I think, sir, nowhere is mentioned that we have to avoid duplicates.
No, it's not about avoiding duplicates. You are unnecessarily counting same book twice.
Yes, sir. If
That
like
is not duplicate. That's incorrect value you will have in your matrix at the end, right?
Like, sir, if J and K are both the writers for any book,
correct.
So the K and J will be also be writers for the one book for the same book.
Oh, correct.
So why the C option is not taken?
I'll tell you what happens. Okay. J and K have written only one book together. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Only
Yes,
one
sir.
book. J and
I
K.
got because and then it will be taking two books. I got the point, sir.
Yeah, the matrix will say 2. That's the problem.
Yes,
it's not duplicate. It's an incorrect value.
Got the point, sir.
Yes, right.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Yeah, last few minutes. Anybody has any doubt?
Sir.
Yes, Bishwajit.
Sir, I have a general doubt, sir.
Okay, just give me a second. Okay, just hold on. Yeah, Bishwajit, sorry. Something came up. Yeah, tell me.
So it's okay, sir. So my general query is like now that our course is become like a 4-year program, right, sir? Hello? Hello? So can you hear me, sir? Hello?
I think sir has lost the connection.
Okay.
Sir has joined.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah,
yes,
am I
sir.
audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible now.
Yes, yeah, I think I lost connection. Sorry. Yeah. You were saying something?
Yes, now that, sir, our program is right 4-year program, sir.
Yeah.
So earlier, sir, when it was 3 years program, sir,
yeah.
we used to finish 31 courses to, I mean, we used to complete 31 courses to get a degree, right, sir?
Correct.
So right now, how many courses we have to take after that, sir?
Okay, first of all, it's not mandatory for everybody to do that 4-year thing. You can finish after 3 also. You can get that BSc certificate and you can leave program. That's still there. Nobody is forcing everybody to do that 4-year thing. First of all, that's a choice. Okay. And second, I think some 7 or 8 courses are added on top of that. I don't have exact number. I mean, I don't remember it. I think it's there on the portal. I mean, you can check that on the website. I think it's some 7 or 8. I don't know whether details are there.
Why? Because I asked this question because, sir, for example, if I take 4 courses in a term, sir, so it will take 2 years, 8 months to complete that program.
Okay.
BSc, I mean that be a 3 years BSc program.
Right.
So,
right.
But if I take 3 courses for each semester, it will take 3 years. I mean 4 months. To complete the program.
Yeah.
So that is the reason I asked that if they have added another 6 to 8 courses, then it will we have to calculate that how many years it will going to take.
Yeah. That's what I don't remember. Some 7 or 8. I'm just confused between those, but either of those.
Yeah. That is maximum 8, sir.
I mean, my suggestion is, you might be saying this 3 or 2 on an average, but every term don't go just by number. Also, sometimes you might have to do less, sometimes maybe more, depending on difficulty and the dependency of courses also. Okay. So don't blindly say, okay, I will just do 3. Sometimes you might have to do 2, or maybe sometimes you can do 4, something like that. Okay. So based on courses, take a call. But yeah, on average, you can consider 3 or 2 or whatever.
Sir, the fourth year can be done with the internship also, right, sir?
Yeah, I mean, there are many ways through which you can do it. As I said, I mean, this is something I have been repeating many times. You will get all the details once it is purely constructed. Okay. It's when it's foolproof, it's everything is constructed, you will get a formal announcement about all these details. It is still in the early stage. I mean, may not be in a very early stage, but it's towards in. We are moving towards that direction. That's why I said earlier also, before you start next term, you will have all your answers, all your questions answered. Okay. Just give us a time, maybe another 15-20 days. Before you register for next term, you will have all these answers. Anyway, this term you cannot change number of subjects. So before you get a chance or option, a choice of selection of subject for next term, before that we'll make it clear what that BS will look like. To the fine detail, everything will be available crystal clear, like what you have for BSc. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, this is something I have repeated many times during our city sessions. Just be a little bit more patient. Okay, it's not that straightforward thing, right? Just today we are saying, okay, 3 years, from tomorrow, no, now it's 4 years. It doesn't work that way. There are many things which we have to take care of. So all those details, all those things are getting discussed, fine tuning. Sometimes you have to go back somewhere to change the things. So before announcing it to students, we have to do foolproof thing at our level. We'll announce it. Later on, if you have some suggestions, maybe we can discuss over it, and those things will happen. But at least at our level, we want to make it solid before we release it to students. All right. Just
yes, sir.
Wait
Actually,
for a few more. Another as just 27, right? Yeah. So another 15-20 days max.
Sir, actually, after taking this term, four courses in this term, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very hectic, sir. I mean, I'm not able to give my family time, sir. So private life, I mean, my private life is hampered, sir.
Yeah, I understand.
There is the reason I wanted to take 3 courses next term. So that's why I asked, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I think 3 is better, and specifically when you move to diploma level and maybe even degree level, right? Then it will be even more difficult. Right now, foundational courses maybe you can manage, but diploma you cannot manage 4 courses together. They are too demanding, and even they're too complicated. So I mean, you will see a sudden jump in a difficulty or the expectations from all of you when you start diploma. I don't think, I mean, any one of you is going to start diploma in next term, but yeah, maybe if there are somebody who's from direct entry to diploma, they will know, but that's
so can you just take 2 subjects every term and complete the course? Is it possible?
Yeah, it is possible. You can take even 1 course per term. No, but there is no limitation on that. That something is completely.
Time limitation must be there, no, sir?
Time. The upper limit is there. I think 6 years for BSc. I think that's the limitation there.
Okay.
Hello, sir. My question is, I am in foundation course and choose maths and CT subject.
Okay.
Then what subject should I choose in for September term or else?
Okay. So you have chose only 2, right? Maths 1 and CT.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now you can do, I mean, provided you pass both these, you are eligible for English 1, Stats 1, Maths 2, and Python, right?
Okay. So actually, I don't know what is the sequence to choose subject and difficulty level.
See, when you clear Maths 1, you are eligible for Maths 2. When you clear CT, you are eligible for Python.
Okay, sir.
And English 1 and Stats 1, you are already eligible.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Okay. One more doubt,
yes.
Sir. If we take 3 courses in a term,
yeah.
In foundation level, there are 8 courses.
Right.
So, sir, if we take 3 per term, then in third term we have to only 2 courses. Then
Yes.
we can choose one courses from diploma or first
No, no, no. You cannot choose courses across levels. You have to finish one level in order to start second level. That's how it works.
means firstly we can complete foundation level. After that we can.
Yes. Unless and until you finish all courses of foundational level, you will not be allowed to enter in diploma level.
Okay.
So one more question, sir.
Yes, Karthik.
I was actually eligible for 3 courses, but I took only 2 courses in the foundation level for the first time.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to give my end-term exam. And supposing, let me assume that I fail in one subject, for example. Okay. Should I have to clear that one subject to again go for the next course, or I can choose 2 courses and then keep this failing course also and then clear it?
Yeah, you can, depending. There is no prerequisite on what you are selecting next. I mean, if there, let's assume, let's not say, I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. But for example, if you fail in CT,
okay,
then you cannot choose Python.
Okay.
Because CT is a prerequisite for Python.
Okay.
So if that prerequisite issue is not there, then you can do that 2 + 1 from previous.
Okay, so for
Provided-
example, I cannot do Python.
No, no.
So I can.
Karthik, just hold on. Before that, one more thing you have to remember. Assuming you are that CCC, right? That credit carrying capacity.
Yes, that's what I told you.
That remains same. If that drops down, then you may not even select 2 + 1. You might have to do 1 + 1 because then you are not allowed to do 3. Then you are allowed to do only 2. That also is possible, right? The CCC always varies after every term, depending on your performance. If you fail, that means you have got less marks, right? That means your CCC might go down. That's
So just
also
for
possible.
pure calculation purposes, let me ask you something with some
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
So for example, my CCC right now is 75. Let me assume.
Okay.
And I'm going 2 subjects and assume that I'm failing in CT.
Excuse, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my CT is dropping down to 50.
Okay.
Now I have cleared 1. I have failed in CT. So which means I can, apart from CT, I can opt for one more course, which is English 2, for example.
Yeah, you can.
So okay, that answers my question.
Yeah, that you can easily.
Yeah, great, sir.
Only thing is, as I said, only thing is if you fail in CT, you cannot take Python. That's the limitation that will be there. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Yeah, thanks.
And sir, can you give any suggestion for how to begin Python? Like,
hey, you finish CT first. We'll talk about Python. I will be there in Python. Don't worry.
Okay.
I mean, in fact,
sir, will you take? I mean, will you be the instructor for that?
Yeah. I mean, not just instructor for Python. Half of the lectures are recorded by me. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have.
On top of that, for upcoming term, as far as what I've heard, it's not yet official, so it might change. But whatever I've heard so far, that I will be there for next term in Python. So if that's the case, we'll meet again in next month.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, week 12 contents, when it will be uploaded? Week 12?
Mostly by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Week 12, we do not have new content. It's just the summary of previous 11 weeks. So
it will help for revision. That's why.
Yeah. We are releasing it. I mostly at max by latest by.
I think Rahul sir has said in the previous session that we'll have some additional content for week 12.
Yeah. That additional content is there. So that also will release. That is not week 12. And that additional content will be available on portal, but that will not be considered for exam. That is something we expect you to watch those lectures or solve those questions or whatever after intern. Don't even look at those before 7th. 7th is the exam, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Do not look at that before 7th. Look at that only after 7th. It is for more clarity. That's something which help you for upcoming courses. Okay, so there's some generalized things are there. So we'll release it on the portal, but do not look at that before 7. Okay, look only at week 12, which is just summary. Yeah, Parag.
Sir, in term and exam, all weeks weightage are same or different, sir?
Again, I don't know. I mean, the syllabus for in term is from week 1
to 1 to 11, and roughly it will be same. That's how I will say. Roughly week 4. See, week 4 is what the entire pseudocode is, right? Week 3 and 4 is pseudocode. Then 5, 6 is list, 7, 8 is dictionary, and then last 3, 9, 10, 11 are graph, right? So roughly equal weightage will be there for at this concept level. Don't consider weak level, but at concept level, roughly equal weightage will be there. That much only I can tell you. Okay.
Sir, in other courses there will be officially announcement for the weightage of this.
I don't know about other courses, but this is what is happening in CT, and that's final. There will not be any announcement. I will tell you, that's something I will tell you bluntly right now. There will not be announcement. Whatever I said, that's final.
Okay.
So how many mocks will be there? Mocks?
Yeah. One mock will be there.
Okay, next week.
Yes, next week. That schedule you'll get that schedule, but yeah, definitely next week.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Lakshmi.
Sir, I have got one doubt that in the end term, I have opted for 4 papers, and I need to write those 4 papers in 2 sessions.
Yes, correct.
So is it there any restriction that in the morning session we have to go for CT and something like that? Is it like that, sir? Or
no, I mean, yes. That restriction is because the papers will be
that's what
figured on our systems like that. You will not get choice. I mean, that will be same for all students in the entire country.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's how the question papers will be configured, right? If you give a choice, then you can leak the questions from morning.
Oh, okay.
Right? So,
I didn't think like that, sir. What I thought is, suppose if the choice is there, I just want to go for CT in the morning session. That's why I am asking.
No, it
this
won't
leakage
be like
and all these things.
CT and stats, I think it will be in the morning. I think CT and stats.
Yes,
that I don't know, but this is how, I mean, this thing for sure that you will not get choice for that. Everybody will give some subject in morning and the other one in the evening. I mean, that is something, I mean, which one will be the morning and all that, you will get on the hall tickets itself, right?
So it will be of 1 hour or more, sir?
1.5 hours. Each subject is 1.5 hours. That's why 2 sessions, right? 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon. Okay, so shall we close?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Good night.
Sir.
Hello?
Sir.
Your voice is breaking. Yeah, Bishwajit, your voice is breaking. Maybe you post it on forum, whatever your question is. Right now, maybe try it again, but I'm not able to hear you. It's still breaking. Yeah, please post it on forum. I mean, I don't know. It's for all, right? His voice is breaking.
Yes, sir. It's breaking.
Okay.
Actually, I was asking many questions.
You're asking some question, that much only I am able to understand. So anyway, Vishwajit, you posted on forum. It's already 10:15. So let's close the session. All right. Bye everyone.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.